So you handle lots of items that are used to check, test or record data within your work process. Or your company's just announced that it's going to move to ISO 9001 quality standards. Well, whatever the case, you'll need to ensure that your measuring assets remain up to the task. Stick around and we'll show you how. Hi, Adrian Brown here. Welcome to Oppor Aspects, providing you with essential solutions. Calibration and test equipment management is a vital element of any company using measuring assets within a quality management system, especially if it's accredited with ISO 9001. One of the foundations of control within a management process is a solid recall and overdue escalation process. In this video, I'll take you through a belt and braces process that will provide any organisation with a system that will prevent overdue and out-of-date test equipment assets putting your product quality in danger. I hope that you enjoyed the presentation, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to catch any future videos as we upload them. So, without further ado, let's jump right in.
So, welcome to the Concise Calibration and Test Equipment Management Guide. Today we'll be talking about the recall and overdue escalation process. The aim today will be to empower you with an overall concept and impression of how a best practices recall and overdue escalation process within a solid calibration and test equipment management system should work. What will be the agenda? Well, we'll be talking about the recall, that's the time periods and the notifications involved, along with the escalation, the time periods and the notifications and warnings, laying down the best practices of each. So, let's get started. As you can see, the blocks moving from left to right are split up into groups of 7 days. You have the recall period and an overdue escalation period, and I'll go into the left-hand orange periods in a minute. Of course, if the items are calibrated, are scrapped, or anything toward happens to them that they can officially be proven that they've been removed from the process, then everything moves back to being okay. But let's move into the recall process. As you can see, the 7-day blocks are moving up the scale to day 0. The recall period is 4 weeks, 28 days before day 0, which is the day that the item is due to be calibrated or the calibration period is due to run out. Now, the funny orange coloured periods prior to the 28 days are set aside for items that are calibrated externally or by an external calibrator, which means they're not going to be brought to an on-site calibration lab. The on-site metrology doesn't do it. Things have to be arranged by the registered keeper, and ideally a notification is sent out prior to the actual item needing to be calibrated 42 days prior to the due date, usually on a Monday. The real recall notification for all items or assets of test equipment in your organisation should start approximately 28 days when an automatic notification is sent. Moving up the scale towards day 0, 21 days is when the automated notification is sent. These are best on a Monday. It gives the registered keeper a chance to get things done. Again, automatic notification 14 days prior, and then 7 days prior the same notification. Now, in this period, nobody else is involved apart from the IT system or the person sending out the email and the registered keeper. And the registered keeper is 100% responsible for the item, and it is up to them what happens to that item within regulations prior to day 0. On day 0, though, if the item hasn't been returned, no notification or emails been sent from the registered keeper to the test equipment administrator, then they get involved and they should get an email on day 0. But of course, in this time period, if anything has happened, then basically the item is returned to being serviceable or is removed and everything is a-okay with the device. But proof has to be put down that these things have happened. It's either been recalibrated, it's been scrapped, or they've decided to sell it, or it's moved on. Proof has to be presented. The whole point of basically the test equipment management system is proof is available to auditors, customers and third parties whenever necessary within the company boundaries. Moving into the escalation period, and this period really is for the items that are late or over the due date. So we've already established that the registered keeper, which is the test equipment administrator, those two will get automatic emails. Now, if nothing's done, then what will happen is on the first Monday after the calibration due date, preferably the IT system will continue sending notifications out to the registered keeper and the test equipment administrator, but the test equipment administrator should get the user department manager involved, and they should be hunting them down and finding out where the item is. Do they know where their registered keeper is? The registered keeper could be ill, could be on long-term sick. Every subsequent Monday after the first Monday after the calibration due date, the same thing happens. This is basically a chase around for the item to make sure the processes aren't in danger. Remember, ideally after day 0, everything that the test equipment measures or the asset takes account of or takes data for is negligible and shouldn't be allowed. Okay, the test equipment office, test equipment manager are fully involved now, and they begin the full escalation. A list of items, past and present, that are overdue on regular meetings with mid to upper management are presented just to get everybody involved to getting this item off the shop floor, out of the office or out of use. And every Monday from the due date, this list is openly declared in various high-level meetings from the test equipment management manager. After this, the IT system will continue sending it out, and on the 28th day, what will happen is the registered keeper will get an email, the test equipment administrator will get an email, the administrator will either send a department manager an email, and of course, the test equipment office sanctions that the test equipment has to be quarantined and actively hunts the item down to quarantine it. It doesn't matter what it's being used for, how big or small it is to be quarantined, is to be removed by the test equipment office or be put out of use by the test equipment office. And this authority has to be given to them by the chief organisation management, senior management structure. And of course, within this period, if anything happens to recalibrate it or it's removed or scrapped and proof is presented of this, then the test equipment situation moves to OK again on the IT system and within your processes. So, just to give a quick overview of the two laid side by side, you have the recall period, notification sent out 42 days, prior to people having their externally calibrated items. Then you have the 4 notifications leading up to the day 0, the test equipment administrator and office getting involved on day 0. Then of course the first Monday and every subsequent Monday the test equipment office will be chasing down senior management, and of course every Monday from the due date the test equipment manager will be reading out a list of these items. The item has to be quarantined at 28 days. And not in use by anybody, has to be shut down, physically not able to be used. So that was the guide to recall and escalation processes within an ideal system. There's a test equipment management guide which I've written. It's available on Amazon, Apple Books and other platforms. It covers various things from calibration providers, purchase and procurement instructions, intervals, and is really a concise guide. Up and coming pocket guides will include a leadership guide and a gap analysis guide. They will be released in subsequent weeks and months. We are available on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook. If you have any questions, then contact Adrian Brown, oppораspects.com. And while you're at oppораspects.com, why don't join the mailing list? Contact info and other details are below. And don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, like the video, and I'll see you soon.